fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's going around the outside of both of them! Maloney!
Oh, he's taken Anderson! Anderson's up to
Oh my god!
Big crash! Oh my goodness, half the field's gonna get rolled!
Second very close. These guys are want to make their way through the field very quickly.
Oh, there we go!
Oh no! That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my god!
God, what?
Oh dear. Oh dear. This is how it all works out for us here with the latest Maxx Bantz broadcast. My first live stream on my YouTube channel, also being streamed concurrently on SimSpeed TV. I am Reese Gardner, Southpaw Racer, and joining me in the commentary box, a super serious sim commentator, this time Bo Albert. Bo, welcome. I believe we have done Maxx Bantz together before, and this is going to be a whole new experience, isn't it?
This is going to be something that I am not prepared, and I don't know why I'm here, because this is going to be ridiculous. I mean, it's Maxx Bantz, it's always something a little bit different, and tonight is no exception. And quite simply, I think if this is your first time watching Maxx Bantz, boy, are you in for a treat tonight.
Indeed you are. This is Winner Stays On, and we're racing at the magnificent Oran Park North B. Now, you might see that the B-roll is upside down to you. That is not a mistake. We are simply portraying accurately what the environment of racing in Australia is like. And as you can see, this is clearly Australia that we are zooming in on. And as we zoom into Oran Park, which has been reconfigured quite a bit as of recent, you can see clearly the 7 turns of Oran Park North B, which is somehow resemblant of the Catalunya Club circuit. Either way, that's not the track we're going to be racing tonight. It's going to be something completely different, and I think entirely more rage-inducing in these trucks. And oh my goodness, that filter, it's incredible. I think it's Bo, it's actually a good representation of what it feels like to live in Australia sometimes. Everything's just blowing out and, your skin catches on fire, it feels like.
Absolutely. It's a little bit of wake up and see how you're feeling today and find out, nope, everything's upside down, and oh no, my sky is green and my grass is blue. But absolutely, this is how this night is going to go, and we are in for a very interesting track at Oran Park. But the layout we've chosen, Reese, which I'm sure you'll get into, is probably the least serious version of Oran Park you could possibly come up with.
Yes, indeed. The trucks do be loud, T-Burn 21. Oran Park North B is effectively a go-kart track. So it's certainly not suited to vehicles like the Lucas Oil Off-Road Pro 4 truck, which is quite the big boy. And that left-hand hairpin is going to be a place where many drivers will be tipped over. I've already seen it happen like 3 or 4 times in the practice session. Live pictures, finally! Going through the twisty final sector here at Oran Park. That's Dean Mole, who we're looking at the moment. This is going to be the first of our heats tonight, and it's going to be a straight-up winner stays on 1v1. You can already see that Mole lifting the inside rear on the entry to every single corner. That's thanks to the fixed setup that I made. How do you like it, Bo?
It's very roly-poly, and I think we're going to see a lot of drivers going on over today. Have a look at, I believe it's Brenton Hobson. Quickly, I've just seen Dean Mole, who we were watching just before, has gone over for a run roll and then been promptly T-boned. Brenton Hobson goes up the inside, almost rolls it. Dean Mole is doing a little bit of exploration like it's the Dakar, but it is most definitely not. I think this practice session is just about a perfect representation of Maxx Bantz as we take a look at Dean Mole still rolling around, and we finally have our beautiful overlays that have absolutely nothing wrong with them in the slightest. And here we go.
So where our names should be, you can see up there in the top left. I think that's a pretty accurate description of both of us, Bo. In fact, I think both of those descriptions fit me as well. I tried streaming once or twice back in the day, and I never got around to doing more of it. So, I mean, this is just perfect, isn't it? Oh my god. Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
I'm not sure what I expected, but this is still more than I expected. This is fantastic.
Look at the inside rear. It's beautiful. I love it. I can't wait for the racing to get off here. And we should probably talk very quickly about how the format's going to work. So the drivers are going to be lining up 1v1, and it's going to be a series of one-lap battles around this Oran Park North B circuit. And then it's basically just winner stays on. The person that wins crosses the line first at the end of the lap, gets to stay on, and then the next person comes out and tries to beat them. If you win consecutive races in a row, you have to start the requisite amount of truck lengths back. So if you win 2 races in a row, you got to start 2 truck lengths back, and vice versa. But I don't think we're going to see many people getting to that kind of level here today, Bo, because as you can see, the track is treacherous, the car is treacherous, and every other driver out on track is treacherous.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure what's worse, the truck, the track, or even the drivers as well, because everyone is having a race at the moment, everyone's having a battle, but more importantly, no one is able to stay on all 4 wheels for more than 3 corners. Look at Dean Mole. Oh, there's the driver upside down. Dean Mole almost tips over. And I think the driver in the background may have actually gone and tipped over as well. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. I'm not sure how many drivers are actually going to be able to win multiple races in a row. I think this may be a case of win one race for yourself and then really just try and survive the next few.
Yeah, I think so. And you saw briefly a meme lord and a former meme race winner up in the top left-hand corner. Because, Bo, you are a former winner of this event. You did the one where it was the Lotus 49 at Spa, and there was only 1 incident cap, and you managed to survive all of that. So you're doing this up in the commentary box now. Were you glad that you're not going to be out there on track this time, or do you want to be out there?
I am much happier being in the commentary box right now. Like you said, I've won a Maxx Bantz once. That's all I'm ever going to win because I am staying away from this series because this is absolutely brutal. It's bonkers, and I genuinely fear for my safety, even though it's virtual.
Indeed, I do as well. I think we're going to have a couple of heart attacks here tonight. There's only minute and a half left in the practice session. We're seeing the drivers put down quite a bit of rubber out on the track. And a reminder that this is only the first of our heats. There's going to be 2 more servers, I believe, going up after this one. And we're going to be running them sequentially so that every driver who has entered, my goodness, every driver who has entered gets a chance to stake their claim for the final. And then the top 10 drivers from those 3 servers, that's determined by number of wins and then by most recent win, they all go into a final server. Have a look at that chroma key. That is beautiful. Who needs split screen to get 2 angles of on-track action when you can see them both at the same time?
Right now, I can just hear directors all over the world jealous of Jake Kennedy right now. This is peak entertainment. And if you don't think this is quality broadcasting, then you don't know quality broadcasting.
No, certainly not. We are, neither do we by the looks of it, Jay says in the background, but we strive for maximum professionalism at Maxx Bantz from everyone who isn't us. So let's just keep going then. At the end of this practice session, down goes the timer. And Brenton Hobson getting a few more corners of practice in before it comes time for the first race of the night, the first matchup. My goodness, what the hell happened to Job Stewart there? Try and interpret that one, Bob. My God. What is going on at the end of this session? Oh, hello. Time skip.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be Dean Mole and Sam Gunstone first up here tonight. Already seen a couple of supporters of Sam Gunstone in my chat. Let's hope that he faces off against Dean Mole and comes away with the victory. For now, though, just hearing from... Okay, we're just listening in on Jake Sperry's admin commands in the session. We're going to wait for the green flag to fly in this session, and then we get our 2 drivers, Dean Mole and Sam Gunstone, up to the starting grid for their 1-lap race. So, the waiting game begins. Sam and Dean already on the grid, and my goodness, it looks like Dean Mole starting a couple corners back from Sam Gunstone there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about the angle either. That is not the best starting position I've ever seen, as he gets to creep on forward.
Here we go. Green flag flies, and we can pull forward to the first corner here, and both drivers will line up side by side, level with the end of the curb on driver's left. So, there we go. That's it. Getting ready to race for one lap. Winner stays on. 3, 2, 1, and go. They are away. Dean Mole gets a slightly better start, but Gunstone just shoves him out of the way coming through the left-hander, and then up to the very difficult sequence of turns coming down the hill. Got to protect the inside as much as you can. Mole almost flipping it over. Gunstone trying his best to get through these hairpins. There's a ridiculously tight steering ratio on this car, and he had a bit of trouble getting it going there. Out of that hairpin as well. Moldo trying to challenge around the outside. He's just gotten a bit too much momentum in. He's got a few more chances though, because Gunstone, he's struggling a bit here in the final sector. Can Mole bump him out of the way and win this race? I don't know. He's almost going to cut the inside of the corner, but Sam Gunstone crosses the line in first place. He gets to stay on. Dean Mole eliminated.
Yeah, Dean Mole eliminated. He tried so many times to try and roll over Sam Gunstone in front. He gave plenty of hits to the back bumper. Wasn't to be. And Sam held his nerve and made it all the way to the end. But that was incredible. I don't think I've ever seen a race where they've managed to make contact within less than a second of the green flag.
Yes, indeed. Got a question in my chat. What happens if there's a dead heat? I got no bloody idea. We'll find out as we go along. I think it's pretty much impossible for a dead heat to happen with the way the racing is going to work here. Sam Gunstone, oh my goodness. Benjamin Roberts making his way to the grid, already getting a bit of damage on his truck.
Yep, that is not the best way to start your out lap at all, but he's going to continue around and get onto the grid. Hopefully in one piece. Oh, that corner doesn't need to be needed anyway. It's just... sometimes track limits are, a bit too much for drivers, so creative arts are inspired. He's just redesigning the circuit, that's all he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. He's remaking it in his image. So here we go, side by side between the two of them. And Sam's going to be starting one truck length back here by virtue of having the win. So gets a slight disadvantage here versus Benjamin Roberts. Race number 2. Here we go then. Roberts versus Gunstone, and they are away. Roberts cuts across into the first corner and keeps it going nicely.
Yep, under the bridge or over the bridge. Dive Gunstone into the side, almost rolls him as well into the hairpin side by side. How's this gonna go? Gunstone's almost rolled it up the inside goes Roberts.
There we go. Roberts getting what he needs done, but Gunstone going to try and shove him out of the way here through the right-handers. They're side by side. Oh, he's going to get spun around. Oh no, the track is blocked, but Roberts still ahead of Gunstone. And there we go. The flip for Sam Gunstone. Roberts is going to cruise to victory here in race 2 of the night. Fantastic stuff. Oh, poor Gunstone though.
Yeah, poor Gunstone, but more importantly, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Car number 1 gets number 1 on the rollover counter for the night.
Yes, indeed. Rollover counter. We're going to be updating that throughout the night. And it's going to be staying up on screen for the rest of the night, we are hearing. Oh, man. Hearing from our director that this is literally the only prep he's put in for the event is making that rollover counter, and for that we thank you, Jay Kennedy. We sincerely thank you. Oh. 4 years of Max Bantz, and that is the most that has happened in preparation. All right, so race 3 then. We got our next driver making their way to the starting grid. It's going to be Strix Pulsatrix coming through to start here. And, of course, Benjamin Roberts starting a truck length back for this one.
Yes, indeed. Going to be an interesting matchup for this one. As you can see, Strix will line up 1 car length ahead, get the advantage for this race start in just a few moments' time, Reese.
Just a few moments, a little bit further forward there for Pulsatrix. And hearing that Ben's going to have to go a little bit more forward as well. Keep it to race director Jake Sperry's liking. The countdown begins, and we are go. And they run away. It's a good start from both of them, but oh no, Pulsatrix has completely overcooked turn 1 and let Roberts go here, and the gap, I think, is too big to come down now as they both lock their brakes coming into the slow section coming down the hill. No one has touched the tyre barriers on the inside just yet in race conditions, so we're still going to wait for that one to happen, but I think Benjamin Roberts has this one covered, Bo.
Yep, may indeed. It was a very, very unfortunate start for Strix, and I don't think it's hit an apex just yet in this race. There we go, finally gets an apex. The Strix almost rolls it over as well as Ben rounds the final corner and will take a pretty easy win at the end of it all. But now, Reese, that's 2 wins in a row, so life is about to get a whole lot tougher there for Ben.
Yeah, certainly. He's going to have to start 2 truck lengths back at the start of this next race. So a little bit more ground to cover. He'll be hoping that the next driver will do what Pulsatrix did and completely overcook and destroy their chances into turn 1. The next driver out is going to be the number 77. It's going to be Chad. His name is so long there that I couldn't see it on my end, but it is Chad Dalton. Memes about Chads here. How much of a Chad is he going to be into turn 1?
Well, sometimes in racing you have to be a Chad. He's going to dive it up the inside. Well, he doesn't need to. He's going to be in the lead, but he's going to try and cover the inside and hopefully run away with it. So hopefully by the end of the race he is a Chad and will take that win. But Ben Roberts will put up a pretty decent fight. And I'm a little bit disappointed that Chad Dalton hasn't managed to roll the truck on this outlap. It's a little bit disappointing. I expected more rolls.
Yeah, he's not quite pushing hard enough for our liking. Question from my chat. So how are we measuring out 2 truck lengths? By eye. That's literally it. Just get close enough and you're good to go. Jake Sperry is in the admin seat at the moment. He's telling the drivers what to do in the session. We're just the shouty men up in the commentary box. So there we go. Chad Dalton pulls up and some more commands being given to Ben here. Okay, there we go. 2 trucks back. On your marks, 3, 2, 1, go. And we are away for the 4th race of the night. And Chad Dalton leads the way. Whoa, Benjamin Roberts going 2-wheeling it through the first turn. That's going to be an interesting drive there up in that truck. But have a look at Chad. He's trying his best to keep it going straight, but he's getting the pressure put on him here by Ben. Oh no, it almost goes wrong for him. But that's valuable time there cost for Ben Roberts.
Yeah, Chad just needs to hit his marks and make it to the end, but he hasn't done so, and Roberts now closes up again. Going to be contact once. Is there going to be contact twice, side by side through the section? It's going to go for a crossover, not quite able to do it. 2 corners to go. Chad overshoots. What can Roberts do side by side? And over goes Ben. The bounce going to be a drag race, but it wasn't. Chad's going to get it, so whoever said a dead heat is not going to happen, there is possibility here, Reese.
Certainly is. Chad, though, absolutely chatting it up and crossing the line in first place and ruining the run of victories there for Benjamin Roberts. So, we haven't quite updated the rollover counter yet, but I'm sure there's going to be another one pretty soon. James Tracy in the 151 is going to be the next driver out on track, waiting for Chad to bring it around and get himself onto the starting grid. He will be starting a truck length back.
Yep, 1 truck length back. It's going to be interesting as James Tracy almost rolls it on the formation lap, which I love. Of course, clearly hearing our call after the last one almost goes over again as we look at the glorious sunrise here at definitely Oran Park.
Yeah, I was going to say, a bit busy looking at the scenery here. Tracy is making his way towards the end of the grid. Of course, we can't be watching exciting action all the time. We've got to have a couple of moments to calm down in between races, and what better than a nice sunrise? It's 5 to 7 in the morning in sim time, and I've got to say, do like that livery with the Maxx on the rear quarter. We're seeing a good turnout of liveries once again for the Maxx Bantz Open. Waiting here. Looks like they're good in terms of position, and away they go. It's going to be James Tracy versus Chad Dalton, and Tracy gets a very good jump off the line, puts the power down, and immediately starts gapping Chad.
Yeah, it's more than one truck length now, so Chad has a little bit of work to do. Dives it in very nicely into the right-hand section, though, and closes the margin up. So it's not over yet. So how will this go? As Tracy almost goes over, as does Chad. And the advantage now is pretty decent to the final few corners, so James just has to hold on.
Just needs to hold on through these last few corners. Can't afford to run too wide and give an opportunity to Dalton here. Oh, a bit of contact there, but leaves James Tracy unfazed. And Tracy crosses the line, wins that particular race. Excellent stuff. And I think he's done the best job of just about anyone so far, apart from Benjamin Roberts. He put himself in the lead right at the start and did not look back. Chad Dalton had no response.
Yeah, nothing you can do there. It is a tricky track to pass, so if you can get that little advantage at the start as he almost rolls once again, you can really just sort of hit your marks and make sure you carry your way all the way to the checkered flag. But what I am noticing is just into the final few corners of the lap, a few drivers around, especially here, getting a lot braver with track limits and thinking about a move up the inside, so you can't afford to play too safe. Because these drivers in second place, they know they have to win, so if there's even a little inkling of a gap, they're going to go for it.
Yeah, absolutely will. Problem is the track is incredibly narrow, especially in that final sector, so you're probably going to be seeing an awful lot of corner cutting. And this is going to be an automatic win for James Tracy because there was a driver who was supposed to go up against him here, but he is not in the server. So James Tracy is going to have to go one truck length even further back. It's going to be the number 7 of Kobe Jones here, who's running up against him. Now, Kobe Jones, haven't seen much from him in terms of Maxx Bantz results recently. This could be his chance.
It could be indeed. He's going to try and ka-chow his way all the way to the front in the Lightning McQueen livery. Absolutely love to see it. Although, I don't know, that's mouth on the front of the truck is a little disturbing for me as it just smiles its way up to its competition.
I need to get an angle there on the front, maybe when the camera changes. Oh my lord. Yep. Ka-chew indeed. Goodness me. All right, let's see if Kobe can work this. I can't unsee that smile. Jake Sperry is happy with the positioning of both trucks. We're going to get a start here. And the smile goes off. There we go. Kobe Jones leads the way into turn 1. And away they go once again. Oh, I love this event. It is so brilliant. And, big step out of the rear there for James Tracy. Lost a bit of time to Kobe there. And trying his best to make his way through the hairpins as Jones flipped it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's see if he can fight back here in the final sector, Bo.
Oh, I feel so bad for James right now with that in his rearview mirror chasing him down into the final few corners. He's overshot as Kobe Jones. He's going to try it though, but time is running out. Jamesy Tracy, what a name, is going to round their way through the final corner and take the checkered flag and get away from that livery on Kobe Jones's car, please.
Oh my lord. Kobe completely cut the final corner as well to try and get a leg up on James Tracy, but
Jay,
ultimately did not work. So, oh my lord. Oh, okay. Catch your breath, because the 03 of Aaron Gilbert making his way out onto track now. Aaron Fish Gilbert.
Yes, indeed. What can Aaron do is... Oh, my lord.
He's going to get it beached on the tyres is what he's going to do.
This is going to be an interesting matchup, and we'll see how Jamesy Tracy can do if they can get another win under their belt, but they are starting so far back on the start now. They're going to be basically in a different corner by the time the green flag is already out. So for Aaron Gilbert, just needs to hit their marks and they should be okay to get the win, but oh my lord, this director.
Okay, so we've got normal vision and completely true and accurate Australia vision in the bottom right-hand corner here as the field for this one forms up. Let's see how nauseous that's going to make the drivers, because I mean, I don't know about you, Bo, but I'm looking at my in-sim and everything's upside down for me. What about you?
This is definitely upside down. This is the most upside down the sim has ever been.
On Sperry's mark, they will go. The 3-2-1 is done, and away they go. Aaron Gilbert gets the start that he needs, and now he's got to try and maximize everything to stay ahead of James Tracy on this lap. Let's see if James tries to pile it in to the downhill section. Unfortunately, lost a bit of time. Gilbert just avoids flipping it. Don't clip the tires too much. Oh!
Almost up and over there, holds onto it, but is overshooting the next corner. Look at James, so sideways, working his way through the long right hand of the tightens and tightens and tightens some more. Is he going to try something desperate into the final few corners? I don't think he will. It's been a great run as Aaron goes a little wide. Is there a possibility for James? Tries it.
Oh, no, but Aaron Gilbert crosses the line in first
Rob
place.
counter.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Okie dokes. That's a good way there for James Tracy to end a magnificent run of wins, one of which may not have been entirely legitimate with the absence of a competitor, but I think he can still add it. But now the rollover count is at 3, and Brenton Hobson, Hobbo88, coming out onto circuit. I'm looking forward to seeing how he's going to do, because, he's already shown that he's a pretty handy driver in Pro Trucks, in the Pro Truck Showdown series that we broadcast on SimSpeed. He's done very well, but that's running the Pro 2, which is rear-wheel drive and slightly less power. The Pro 4 here has four-wheel drive and about 900 horsepower coming out of the engine. So a bit of a different beast, but Brenton Hobson knows how to handle those big vehicles.
Certainly does, but I'm not sure how used he is to having a setup that is literally squishier than a Woolworths sponge. So he's going to have a lot of work just to keep this thing on the road, I think, as these drivers are definitely having a very tricky time keeping it on the island.
Indeed they are. All right then. Sperry is happy with the positions for both of these drivers. 3, 2, 1, and away we go. Hobson gets off to a good start there. Aaron Gilbert almost tapping him on the inside coming through turn 1, but it seems that the Synergy Sim Racing star has his bases covered here with a big slide from Aaron Gilbert coming into the downhill section.
Yeah,
completely cuts the corner too.
Complete joke collapse back down the hill, but no time gained. Hobbo is just proving a little too fast at the moment. Hits his mark through there. Of course, the 88 very famous for looking exactly the same upside down as it does upright. But at the moment, there's no upside down needed for Brenton Hobson because he is pulling away. Gilbert almost needs a roll counter addition. Not quite as he's going to straight line the final few corners. Can't get there in time.
That's what happens to cheaters. Never prosper. And off track only in Maxx Bantz, Jay says, but sometimes even not. So, Brenton Hobson's going to be staying on here, and we'll be coming very close to the end of this first heat pretty soon. We've still got a few more to go. It's Rob Carmichael who's going to come out on track next.
Yeah, this livery just excites me. My inner Kyle is just coming out. My urge to punch drywall is just through the roof looking at this.
Yes, I'm balling my hand up into a fist already. I just wanna hit something. God damn it! That's beautiful. Wonderful livery for Rob Carmichael. Let's see if it gives him the energy he needs to A, stop the car from rolling, and B, beat Brenton Hobson. Hobson's going to be starting a truck length back thanks to that win. So, advantage to the 024 of Rob Carmichael. Brenton can pull forward a little bit, according to Jake Sperry, and it looks like that is happy. That is good. That is joyful. That is wonderful. 3, 2, 1, and go. For whatever race this is, we lost count pretty quickly. And Rob Carmichael leads the way. Let's see whether or not he can stay on, because Brenton Hobson, he's going full racer spec here. Bit of contact. Rob Carmichael overshooting slightly, almost gets turned around, leaves the door open for Hobbo on the inside of the hairpin, and the 88 sneaks through. That was a great move.
I think there needs to be a penalty for Brenton Hobson. There was way too little contact.
Yeah. I would have liked a bit more of a flip for that one. We need to up our rollover counter. Oh, the return serve there from Rob Carmichael. He redresses, though. And, oh no, there we go. It's going to be tight. Oh, Carmichael bumping Hobbo out of the way. Crosses the line in first. Oh, no. Brenton Hobson has been given the win there because Rob Carmichael cut the course. See,
Boo.
we are fair.
Boo! We want blood. We want vengeance.
Oh, goodness me. So then. We got some data there from Jake Sperry.
Closes
It
the
looks like
margin up.
James Tracy
It's not a-
has the most wins out of this particular heat with 3 wins, and then Brenton Hobson and Benjamin Roberts have 2 wins each. Thank you very much for that big old flippy doodah, Hobbo. The thing is, though, there is still a wild card slot there, and I couldn't quite catch. I think it was Aaron Gilbert who was in the wild card slot. How does that work? I have absolutely no idea. But either way, that's the end of this particular server. And we're going to go up into the Heat 2 server very shortly. But I think this night is going to go off very nicely, considering what we've seen so far, Bo.
Absolutely. We thought we were going to see chaos, and so far we have. We've seen plenty of rollovers at 4 already. So we actually saw some good racing as well, to be fair. I know I'm saying, cutting the course here and we need more contacts, but genuinely, there were some moments of some very cool racing as well. So, no, I think there's a lot more action in store for the rest of the night.
Yeah, certainly is. And we will be waiting then for the next server to go up. But while we're at it, I think maybe won't go on a break just yet. We'll just have a little chat while we're waiting for this next server to go up. We'll change the B-roll, Jay says, and that circuit looks pretty familiar. I think that's Belle Isle, another mega meme circuit. And where are we now? Oh, Talladega.
Are you sure
Upside down?
that reads like Gedalata, which of course is a very well-known circuit as well.
Agadalit is what it says.
Agadelit. I'm a big fan of that
Agadalit.
circuit.
Margo
Nothing gets me
racing
more
at
excited.
Agadalit.
Oh boy. I do appreciate this particular B-roll is not even the correct way up. It's not even upside down. It's 90 degrees.
Jesus. Yeah, this is what you see when going over the circuit from the International Space Station. The aspect ratio has also been messed with as well. I think though we're already seeing the likes of James Tracy, Brenton Hobson, and Benjamin Roberts as claimants to the Maxx Bantz crown here tonight, and I have yet to see the specific drivers lining up for the next race, but I'm wondering if anyone's going to be able to challenge that number of wins there.
It's going to be tricky, I think. Of course, we saw a really good run there for one of our drivers. Ended up getting, I think it was 4 wins in a row. Of course, one driver didn't show up, so they got 1 free win. But that's going to be tricky to beat. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to do it, but Brenton Hobson looked pretty quick. And of course, his run got cut a little bit short just due to where he was seated in the heats. But I think if anyone can do it, maybe Hobbo 88 is the guy to do it.
Yeah, indeed. But there's going to be some interesting competition in this next session, which is now up, and we will join post haste. The driver lineup for this particular heat. There's quite some big names here. We got Blake Bottoms, we got Tyson Broad, Reese Harnell, and Keenan Kusin lining up in this one as well. Mr. Aero HD, he is a former winner of Maxx Bantz. He won all the way back in the second Maxx Bantz Sim Racing Boogaloo, so he'll be hoping for a bit of extra luck here tonight. Cam McDougall, Gary Weaver, Matthew Walker, Jonathan Ben, Dan Six, Dylan Burse, Andrew Cardinal, and Andrew Dyson are the drivers who are going to be lining up in this one. I think this is going to be a pretty competitive field.
Yeah, absolutely. A wide variety of drivers from all different backgrounds as well. So I think we are going to see some pretty interesting racing. And I don't believe, at least off the top of my head, any of these drivers really familiar with pro trucks. So we could see some more aggressive driving, some slightly different driving styles. And I'm looking forward to that because what it means is a little bit of excitement, a bit of drama for us if someone spins or runs wide and makes an easy overtake or something. But more importantly, that roll counter could go above 4.
Yeah, certainly could. I'm expecting at least 3 rollovers in this server, and if there's any less than that, I am quitting sim racing and sim racing commentary forever. So a lot's riding on this, guys. Don't mess this up.
I think that's a pretty safe bet. I think 3 is the minimum.
Yeah, I think so. Question, how many Andrews on this grid? There's 2. Jay says too many. I say just 2 scheduled for this particular server. Mr. Cardinal and Mr. Dyson. But waiting then for live pictures to come in from the server. They will be coming imminently. And it'll be just as much of a surprise to us as it is to you who exactly is going to go out first.
Yes, indeed. We'll find out fairly shortly. Practice still only has 6.5 minutes remaining, so not long at all. And, well, we already see one truck with no front ends. This one has no rear quarter panel. And Keenan Kusan, who we're watching, he has managed to roll about 3 times in the short time I've been watching, and almost has a 4th there as the car hops, skips, and jumps through that section. And then, well, that corner doesn't really matter either.
Nah, doesn't. Seeing a question a couple of times in my chat. Next Maxx Bantz on Assetto Corsa. I mean, it would be nice, but Maxx Bantz, we run on iRacing specifically because of the variation that it allows and what it allows us to do in terms of format. iRacing gives you a lot of controls to set up events that Assetto Corsa might not have, and I think it might also be a little bit more difficult to broadcast for Mr. Kennedy over at SimSpeed TV. We operate mainly on iRacing, and we're going to be staying that way for the time being. But we're always going to be streaming these events, so if you cannot compete, you're more than welcome to watch for free.
I just want to say that I am going to be extremely biased in this particular run of heats. Andrew Dyson is running a Dale Earnhardt livery, and we all know that when it comes to racing, you've got to do it for Dale. If you don't do it for Dale, why are you sim racing? It's not for you.
Exactly. Yeah, if you're not doing it for Dale, who are you doing it for? That is the big question. I'm doing it for Dale. Bo's done it for Dale. Oh, Keenan Kusan's flipped it, Jay. You can bring up the rollover counter. Is he going to flip it again? Trying to come back onto the circuit. He's pushing very hard. Oh, wheelie! Goodness me!
Oh
right.
my lord.
Oh wow. And Reese Harnell here. His livery is a Dolly Parton Stampede livery. I like Dolly Parton. She's a good egg. She does a lot of good things. Donating books. Does a lot of good work in her community. Oh, Jay, I really wish that you weren't muted so they could hear you say that. It's like, when, the thing is, like, Jay will say something funny, and then I'll have to try and relay it to everyone else. Oh, that's 6. Okay, cool, done. But I always have trouble translating the humor. It just doesn't come across right when I say it.
So what you're saying is you're working hard to make a living, Reese?
Oh, dear. There we go. 9 to 5, perhaps? Oh, Christ.
It's going to be one of those heat races, I think, where we're just going to try and throw in as many Dolly Parton references as we can, because this is quite literally one of the most beautiful cars I've ever seen. Of course, Dolly Parton's Stampede car, and some very beautiful wheels on that as well. I'm not so sure about the driving. Oh boy, it is a cupcake.
Reese Harnell in the cupcake truck.
Oh, it's Dale Earnhardt. It's Dale Earnhardt versus a cupcake, but the cupcake wins.
Yes, Andrew Dyson has flipped it. That's 7 rollovers. Is he going to make it 8? Take it easy. Remember, we're just documenting the rollovers that we can see, so we might miss a couple along the way. But I'm pretty proud, personally, not to toot my own horn, but I am proud of the setup for this one. Because as you can see, it's clearly difficult for the drivers to even get around the circuit, but also the inside rear wheel lifting at every single corner. I mean, I did that completely on purpose because you really want to get the truck to pivot in these slower corners.
Absolutely. If 4 tyres, of course, would make the car understeer. The correct car format, as we all know from the Reliant Robin, is 3 wheels. 3 wheels is the perfect example. And quite simply, if anyone tries to change my mind, you are wrong. Quite simply.
Indeed. Whoop, there we go. Tyre bundle clipped, and away he goes. That was a lovely flip there for Andrew Dyson, and I think a pretty good recovery as well. It's all about how you stick the landing, like gymnastics.
Speaking of gymnastics, Andrew Dyson is on one very interesting routine at the moment, and is going to go for a little bit of a bar transition over to the other side, and makes no contact over the bridge and blows his engine, promptly crashes into the bridge. So, if we're going to get our scorecards out for that gymnastics routine, I'm going to go 7.5, Reese.
Yeah, okay. I'll say probably, 7.5 as well, just to keep things safe for the first round. And Matthew Walker's livery says something on the side. I'm trying to read it. This is a good livery. Yes, Matthew, it is.
I can't debate that. There is nothing I can say that, will disagree with that. That is 100% factual. It says it is a good livery, and we all know words never lie.
Yeah.
So that is a good livery. You can't dispute that.
Yeah, if the livery itself says that it's good, then, there's really no disputing it, is there? Question in the chat, is Dyson in the 3 or the 8? He is running the number 3 in Sim, but as you probably noticed, the fact that his skin has a number 8 on it makes things a little bit confusing. Doing it for both Dales, Jay
so
says.
He's not just doing it for one Dale, it's doing it for both Dales.
Both senior and junior.
You love to see it. Wow, that was an interesting line he's just taken, and he's now upside down for the 8. Well, he gets the roll counter up to 8. Of course, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s number. He's got the 8 on his car. He's got Dale Sr.'s number on his car. He's just the biggest Dale supporter you'll ever find.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very impressed with Andrew Dyson's conduct in this practice session. It's exactly what we want here at Maxx Bantz. Another replay here for Dylan Burse, who made a heavy contact there with the tyre wall, sailed over the top of it. Oh no, it is Andrew Dyson there. And that is what brought out the number 8 on the roll counter. Brilliant stuff. So, Andrew Dyson and Dylan Burse, incidentally, are the first 2 drivers up on the grid. So back then to 6:45 in the morning in sim time, and we're going to get another race on our hands here, Bo.
Absolutely. We're going to have Dale versus Conk. Of course, Conk Orange Vanilla on the number 8 car of Dylan Reim Burse. So we'll see how he can get on.
I think that's Reimburse.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear, indeed. Poor Sperry comedy is how Jay describes it. Jake Sperry, by virtue of being a Maxx Bantz admin, can modify nicknames for everyone in the server. So as you can see, it's Dylan Reimburse and Andrew Pat Salesman Dyson. So once again, this is going to work exactly the same as it did in the previous server. We'll wait for the green flag to fly, and then the drivers will make their way 1 lap around to the starting grid. And away they go. Immediately backs off there. False start that we're hearing from Jake Sperry. And they do indeed have to go around the circuit to line up properly on the starting grid. But man, that is quite the conk livery there for Dylan Burse.
Are you a conk man or are you a Beppis man?
I'm a conk boy. As you can see, these are the completely correct race details. Everything here is verified and factual. You can check our sources. We're not going to tell you where they are, but they are there. So side by side then. 3, 2, 1, and go. here it comes, and wow, Dyson really got the jump on Burst there. But it's not worked out for him. Coming into the second turn, makes rear to bumper contact. But Burst leading the way into the downhill section as our ears get blown out by Jay's dog in the background. Dylan Burst has done everything right on this lap so far, and Andrew Dyson just losing momentum there. Cannot get on the throttle well enough to keep up with Dylan.
No, not at all. You can see Andrew's going to try a few little shortcut tactics to get there in time, but I don't know how the race steward and Jake Sperry is going to like that. As a big moment for Burst there. The car hops, gives him jump up the inside. Maybe goes Dyson, forcing the issue on the outside. Can't do it. And Burst is going to take it to the checkered flag.
There we go. He stays on. Andrew Dyson will escape back to the pits. The next driver out is going to be Reese Harnell. And Reese Rainbow Six Siege Harnell in the magnificent Dolly Parton cupcake machine.
Yes, indeed. We'll see how that gorgeous car will go out on track, as I've also just seen Andrew Dyson is upside down once again. Seems to be a natural nature for him. As that is something to behold. It truly is.
Truly. I'm loving every second of this. Yeah. Whew. Man, I think that, goodness me. So the rollover counter avoids going up for the time being, but I mean, that's one way to take the corner. I mean, sometimes, you see slow motions of supercars races here in Australia, and you see the drivers going in slow motion over those gigantic curbs, almost two-wheeling it. I think Harnell was trying to do the same thing just with the tyre bundle.
Yes, indeed, is deciding to take a
Harnell
bit of
doing?
a joker lap. Pit stop. Well, we haven't spoke pit strategy, Reese.
My good. Okay, so we're getting some word in here that Harnell is going to have to make his way out onto pit lane. He might get a unsafe pit exit penalty for that one. All right, here we go. We're going to get a start then for second race of Heat 2. Here we go between Reese Harnell and Dylan Burst. Away we go, and it's pretty close between them coming through turn 1.
Yep,
Burst. Oh, hard on the brakes there. Look, there could be contact here, Bo.
Oh, there's a little bit of contact for sure as they work their way into the super tight hairpin, and Reese Harnell definitely gets a big advantage from that. Able to get through the corner much nicer than Dylan, so an advantage there into the final few corners, but we'll see if Dylan has anything for an overtake.
Bit of contact once again in the last sector, and Harnell going defensive, but oh, goodness me, Burst wants everything here with this win. Harnell, though, is going to cross the line in first place, and he will stay on to face off against the next competitor, Dylan Burst, to the pits then. And it's another free win for Reese Harnell, because the driver who was scheduled to go up against him next is not in the server. So we're going to be getting another new driver out on track here. Blake Bottoms of the Barrel is making his way out onto the racetrack at the moment. And Reese Harnell, well, he just won that race, and he's been gifted another free win, so that's a 2-truck length back start.
Yes, indeed, a big disadvantage there. But, of course, we have seen drivers overcome it so far tonight, so no excuses, it's still possible. But Blake Bottoms of the Barrel will see what they can do to hold on and get themselves their first win of the night in these second runs of heats that we're doing for tonight. And just see how this goes as the truck reacts so weirdly through that section. I do not know how the drivers are holding on to it. It looks shocking to drive.
Yeah, I've specifically set it up so that, you turn a bit and there's kind of less response than you would like, but you turn the wheel just a little more and then suddenly all of the steering lock gets put on. So that's why you see the drivers being so interesting in the very slow sections of the circuit. Either way, lining up on the grid, it's going to be Blake Bottoms lining up in first. Reese Harnell starting from 2 truck lengths back. Can he pull off another win here? It's a good start, though, from Blake Bottoms, and he keeps it nice and clean through turns 1 and 2. On board with Reese Harnell, we have Miss Parton's face there at the bottom of the screen. And my lord. The corner cutting is amazing from this car. But it looks like Blake Bottoms has done everything he needs to stay ahead for the time being. Harnell is just way too far back to have any kind of response, and he's just elected to start having fun.
Yeah, I think that's all he can do at this point. I think the race wind is a little bit too far gone as Blake Bottoms of the barrel is going to round the final corner. He's not bottom of the barrel. He's, in fact, the top of the barrel. Checkered flag goes to him in heat number 2.
Indeed it does. Matthew Walker, Mr. This is a good livery, coming out onto circuit to face off then against Blake Bottoms. And I got whoa. Well, the drivers are getting very good at avoiding rollovers here in the races, aren't they, Bo? That rollover counter is looking worryingly stagnant right now.
Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed. I would have thought we would have a lot more action, but it's not just happening at the moment. These drivers are starting to figure it out and keep themselves on all 4 wheels, well, all 3 wheels, a lot more often, as we do get Matthew Walker out on track in his beautiful livery that cannot be disputed, and he will get himself ready to kick this next race off. Holy cow, that was beautiful.
That was indeed beautiful. Matthew Walker, of course, runs Simple Sim Computers, who were the sponsor of my Slightly Serious Showcase videos. On that note, I do have a couple more Slightly Serious Showcases planned as as Matthew Walker tries his best to get the car around here. Really want to thank Matthew and his mate for their support of my channel and of my videos. Let's see if he can pull off a win here. Lines up very well, just about. Got to come back a little to the end of the curb. And Sperry's just going, little more. Matthew Walker lines up and the revs rise. 3, 2, 1, go. And they are away. So Matthew Walker leading the way, but he was bouncing off the revs there with the gearing being as short as it is on these trucks. You go up into 6th very quickly. Trying round the outside there was Blake Bottoms, and he's going to ride the bumper of Matthew Walker coming into the hairpin. Matthew avoids the tyre bundle brilliantly. Both of them going off track there to try and keep up some momentum out of that slow section. And a bit of an advantage there as Walker gets spun around onto the tyre barrier. He stays ahead. Great recovery, but he's overshot that corner as a result. And Blake Bottoms is return serve for Matthew Walker. Bottoms is going to cross the line in first, but disqualification for Blake Bottoms thanks to that move. Matthew Walker has been given the win for that one.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Of course, Matthew did make contact as well, but I think that was just a bit of a tit for tat more than anything. That was big contact that he got from Blake Bottoms there. So next up on track will be Tyson Broad, and we'll see what he can do in this very extreme livery. I have to say, I do quite like it. It's very Travis Pastrana, and we'll see if he has anything to do and find a way past on Matthew Walker, who I have to say, I did actually like that strategy from Matthew. A lot of the times we've seen drivers... Wow, on your lap, incredible Tyson as he goes up and over. But I was going to say that most of the drivers in the lead have been quite flamboyant, aggressive, and sideways. Matthew actually did something completely different, Reese. He drove the car very straight and very precise.
Indeed. We've seen a lot of drivers going hell for leather in this session so far, but remarkable restraint from Matthew Walker, at least when driving on his own. There was an awful lot of biff and barge there from both of those drivers. So they line up on the grid, and a little bit further forward there for Matthew Walker. Starting the truck length back, Tyson Broad is pointing himself right towards the inside of turn 1, but Walker gets the jump on him at the start. They make contact, not even half a second into the race, but Broad there manages to get the advantage. What will Walker do into the braking zone here? Try and gain a bit of momentum. Gives him a big old serve in the back. I don't know if race control will look too kindly on that, but Walker losing all of his momentum and almost gets flipped over.
Yeah, into the grass on the exit, but he'll keep the inside. Look at Tyson get into the back, turns up and over. That is complete demolish of Matthew Walker there, who gets back on his wheels. But that was a murder.
That was absolutely a murder. We'll see what Jake Sperry thinks of that one. Tyson Broad is going to cross the line in first place, but will Matthew Walker be given the win again?
Oh, not
No.
for that, he won't.
No, certainly not. Tyson Broad has been named the winner, so he's going to be able to stay out on track, but with the damage that he's already taken, he might want a fresh car at this rate.
We'll have to see if Tyson is allowed to get a new car, but he may have to just suffer with that damage. But that was an interesting little tactic that he had there, with pointing his car so fiercely to turn one, which we saw end up in contact. Will he do it again as he faces off with Keenan 2 times Kusa?
Indeed. A 2-time winner of Maxx Bantz previously, and Keenan is streaming over on Twitch at Mr. Aero HD if you want to catch his perspective of what's going on here. Now, I haven't seen much from him in terms of this event, how fast he can go around this track, but facing off against the damaged truck will certainly give him a slight advantage.
It definitely will, but is he able to keep it on the track? Of course, we know how good Keenan is. He's been in this position to win Maxx Bantz twice before and pulled it off. But this is going to be a tricky one in the truck, and how all over the place it is. It's quite drifty, and we know he is a bit of a drifter, so is he able to use that experience to his advantage here?
Big question of the night. Let's see how it goes then. Keenan Kusin with the advantage here, and Tantusar pointing out in my chat, very rightly, winner stays on means winner stays on. If you get a new car, then you're no longer the winner. So 3, 2, 1, go. And we are away once again. Keenan Kusin gets a great start and covers off Mr. Broad very nicely coming into turn 1. And it seems like Keenan is coming into this with, oh no, oh no,
wow.
oh no. Oh, big hit there. Barging past as Tyson Broad. Kusin goes all the way to the grass to stay ahead, and side by side through the hairpin. Broad ahead again.
Yeah, this is not over by any stretch. You can only imagine Keenan is going to try and get the bumpers out a bit more into the final few corners. Goes late on the brakes, almost gets to the back. Can't quite do it. They both overshoot, and Keenan decides to cut the course. Contact is going to go around. There's going to be even more contact, I think, as Keenan completely... What on earth?
Oh, Keenan. That's 3 wins then for Tyson Broad. Oh my goodness. Cannot believe that. Okay. Race for 3 points then. To end things off, Dan 6 is going to come out onto the circuit then to face off against Broad. Will he be able to be toppled? And unfortunately for Keenan, that is the chance killed for a 3-time Maxx Bantz win. I think he just got a bit too carried away there. The red mist descended when Broad barged past him coming into turn 3.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very aggressive racing. I mean, contact is expected, but there were some big hits in that race. With a big hit especially into what I believe is turn 2. So I understand why there was red mist, but probably didn't pay off in the end.
No, certainly not. Tyson Broad waiting then for...
His poor car.
Yeah, his poor car indeed. It's got quite a bit of damage on the side of it. You can even see some of the damage from inside the car as well. Yeah, have a look at those dents. I mean, Oran Park's not really an aero track anyway, so it isn't going to hurt him too much. Either way, getting Tyson's just been given a warning for his conduct when passing. So, as the race gets off to a start, whoa, hello! Love it!
Real.
Love it!
Almost gets the lead as well, as they're going to go very close into this next little section. How is... big overshoot from Dan!
Oh, no.
And that is the inside totally available there for Tyson Stewart. He has to just bring this home now, Reese.
Yeah, indeed he does, but up and over. Dan 6 goes. Number 12 of the night then for Dan 6, and stuck on his roof. That's going to be the end of his night, and Tyson Broad indeed can just cruise home now. 4-to-1 steering lock ratio on these things, but man, the amount of wins that Tyson Broad has come away with in this second heat really sets him up for a good run at an overall victory when the final comes around.
Absolutely. We don't know if anyone would beat 3, but, you know, the very next group of cars, they managed to pull it off. And Tyson Broad, 4 in a row. That is incredible.
Indeed it is. Well, Matthew Walker is also going to be going into the final, I believe, with 1 point to his name. As the drivers then exit the server, Tyson Broad is having a little bit of a victory celebration as he comes into pit lane. Oh, wow, that's a blast from the past.
Wow.
Back when we used to have Cut Price Racing as our replay sponsor on SimSpeed TV. This is really a bit of a nostalgia trip for us as well, because we bring out some of our old overlays that we used to use. Really nice to see all of that. And am I right in seeing that there was a vehicle out on the main circuit there? Or is that just a part of the B-roll? It looks to me like that was very weird. I think my eyes were deceiving me there.
Quite possibly. But nonetheless, some very cool B-roll, and it's actually correct. So I've got to, be very proud of Jay Kennedy here. He's actually managed. It took him, about an hour of the broadcast, but he's finally figured out what track we're at.
Yes, indeed, and unfortunately, I think it's the wrong way up. I mean, the sky is at the top of the image, and frankly, as an Australian, that scares me at a primal level.
I'm almost insulted, in all honesty, the fact that this vision, like, this is not how I remember Oran Park at all.
Yeah. I mean, I clearly remember that bridge there dipping down into the sky, and cars having to rely on the downforce they produce from their wings to even stick to the track. We've unfortunately lost many drivers in Australian motorsport because they just fell off the track and into the sky, and we never saw them again.
It's the worst thing ever. Like, it was so frustrating, wanting an autograph from your favorite driver. They have their race before the signing session, so you're like, okay, I'll watch the race. But they never come back from the race because they're in the sun. It happens so often.
Indeed, it does. Have a look at that colour change there. Jay Kennedy messing with the levels live. It turns out I'm not crazy, Bo. Other people saw that car running around the circuit as well. So I think this stream might be haunted by one of those drivers. Looks like it was Dylan Burt's actually that made his way out onto the circuit and promptly got disqualified. All right, let's try and work out this one. I see a Grand Am logo. Is this Kansas? Yep. We just get a possibly from Jay. Goodness. Yeah, it's Kansas. There we go. Man. The colours, yeah, there we go. That's more like it. Nice colours. If you're interested in learning a bit more about Kansas Speedway and how much I dislike the road course, I do have a super serious track guide up on my channel that you can watch. It is one of the older ones, so I guess maybe quality is not quite there, but certainly was one of the videos that set me up on the path I am today. And I think it's a pretty good allegory for what these broadcasts have become.
Yes, absolutely. It's of course, when I first started commentating at V8 Online and SimSpeed TV, it was it was an okay company. It wasn't doing anything super special, but now look at the production we're able to put out. It's truly stepped up 20 gears from where we started, Reese.
Indeed, this is modern art that you're seeing on screen. This is exactly as intended, and this is the future of sim racing broadcasting. We want to make our colours nice and crisp, bring up the contrast, because, you're not racing in real life, so you might as well lean into the fantasy elements. Jay's saying let's change B-roll again. Kansas Speedway. Do we have any requests? Actually, well, what's a good meme road course? Oh, Jay says he has one. What's it gonna be? Oh,
Gilbert!
Boom! There we go. Le Mans, the Dunlop Bridge.
Yeah, it's
not
Cuba.
Le Mans.
It's the Cuba, surely.
Tsukuba. Oh, yes. True. Yes. Man, bloody Dunlop bridges confusing me all the time. There we go. Tsukuba circuit.
Perfection.
I reckon we should do a Maxx Bantz at Tsukuba at some point. It's, you know, it's a free track. It's very involved in terms of its layout. You have a couple choices. The 2000, of course, which is the main road course, and then the 1000, which is another pretty much go-kart track. I'm wondering if... could you imagine the Dallara IR01 at Tsukuba 1000?
Oh, no.
Maxx Bantz 14 locked in, question mark? I don't know. Either way, we'll see if that's on the cards for the future. So the drivers are now in the third and final server, and we're already seeing quite a bit of flippage going on down at the hairpins. I reckon you can bump that counter up by another one, Jay, because I saw a driver flip just before the live pictures were sent, and well, we saw another one in the background there, didn't we?
I'm going to need a little bit of assistance here, Reese. Eric and Tilly's livery. Technical difficulties. Please stand by. Upside down. Completely multicolored. We've got the wireframe.
That's a TV test pattern that Intilli's got on his car there.
Well, our director is saying if the text is upside down, he can fix it. Oh,
Hey! There we go.
perfection.
Now this looks proper. Now this looks proper. I'm liking this. Oh, you can really get a sense for the weight transfer as well. Simply brilliant. Oh dear. Well, just a few more minutes to go then in this warm-up session before the drivers get themselves into this final heat to qualify for the final. Goodness me, the way they get back onto the circuit. Is it any wonder these trucks don't last long out on track?
I'm just noticing as well with the liveries, we've also got a bit of a food battle going on. Of course, we're on board with cheese, but if we go over to the number 3 car, we've also got sausage rolls. So it's a little bit of a pick your poison as to what you're after. So, Reese, once again, I throw the question to you. Are you team cheese or team sausage roll?
I am team cheese.
Oh, no.
And a bit of context here. For those who might not be aware, Daniel Stevens here, running sausage rolls on his truck. Is that a set of teeth on the front bumper? That looks terrifying. Oh my lord.
At least it's not Lightning McQueen.
It's his mouth. Oh my lord. The reason he is running sausage rolls on the side of his truck, he races in the Pro Truck Showdown, and that series can get a bit biff and bargy at times. Daniel Stevens decided to put a sausage roll on the side of his truck for every time he flipped over. So with this many sausage rolls, you know, the entire car's covered in them. You can get a sense for how much he is used to being upside down.
Yes, indeed. So we'll see if we can keep it on all 4 wheels in this particular race, but I'm going to say I'm doubtful with some of the stuff I'm seeing in this practice session at the moment. The roll count should just basically just about be tripled at this point in time, as the drivers still have 3.5 minutes, and I'm sure we're going to see plenty more additions to the roll count as Steve McClellan almost goes over, and then Liam Milner says, if you aren't going to go over, I will.
Goodness me, Liam Milner with a bit of damage then to the front of his truck and just struggling to keep the weight there on the rears as he turns in. And a cheese fan and a meat pie lover. Yeah, that's us, Bo. That's us.
Nothing beats a meat pie for breakfast.
And for oh my goodness. There we go. Roll over counter. Oh, another one. 17. Oh, it was almost 18 there. But no, I am a big fan of cheese. I do like especially the nice funky ones. Gives you a lot of extra interest to your day when you're questioning whether or not your food is trying to kill you.
Oh, wow. I don't know how to respond.
Cheese! Please! Christ almighty. The number 39 of Neil Sentkovsky. He has won a Maxx Bantz in the past. So, incidentally, has Tommy Teasdale running the number 13. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's 19 there, Jay. There, excellent. Eric and Tilly in the... Whoa,
wow.
whoa. Oh! Show jumping with Eric and Tilly. Fantastic.
Also have the 41 car going around on circuit as well, and he's cut. Oh wow,
20.
that is a big rollover for the what was once 7 car. So we'll add two onto the roll counter for 2 separate flips there, as it is Jamison. Even longer name. Oh my lordy! It actually gets cut off on the UI.
I think it's Teesbrummel is that name, or Teisbrummel. Pretty sure if it's an IE, then it's an E kind of sound. Oh, 22. This group is doing fantastically at flipping at the moment. Oh my goodness. It is chaos here in the practice session. Just a minute to go. And I think some drivers will be thanking their lucky stars. Oh. Yes. The 1Xs that you see in the nicknames are the times that these drivers have won. So there are 3 Maxx Bantz winners in this field. Tommy Teasdale, of course, won Maxx Bantz, I think, 11, where we raced the 410 sprint car at Le Mans. Eric and Tilly also winning in the past, and Neil Sentkovsky with a win to his name as well. And I'll correct myself from before. I said show jumping with Eric and Tilly. I should have said James Chastaneuf is the driver with the cheese livery on his car. He's a very long last name indeed, and it's taken a couple of occasions, I think, for commentators to figure out exactly how it's pronounced.
Yep, and I'm sure we'll still get it wrong at some point, more than likely. Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Team Cheese and Team Sausage Roll side by side. I've got to say, just looking at your YouTube chat at the moment, Reese, Team Cheese clearly the favourite here.
Yes,
Oh, Lord.
indeed. Oh, the face-off of the century between Team Cheese and Team Sausage Roll, and Team Cheese is in the lead at the moment. Where are my Team Sausage Rolls at? Let me know in the chat. Neil Sentkovsky and Liam Milner are going to be the first drivers out on circuit in this one. Once we run through this server, then the final server will go up for the final, where the top 10 drivers will compete for the WinRAR trophy and the right to be called a son or daughter of banter. And it looks like there's no Sausage Roll gang in my chat at all.
I'm pretty disappointed, I'm not going to lie. I'm definitely Team Sausage Roll, so... As Jay Kennedy has gone for a why not both.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love that,
Yes.
of course. Inclusive. I like it. But I'm still gonna fly the sausage roll flag high. There we go. Wow. Why was that so difficult to pronounce?
Oh, Keenan Kusin is in there. Sausage roar. Excellent.
Sausage roll.
Beautiful. Well, thank you very much for your support, Keenan. Chad Dalton is having a cheesin' time as well. So, the green flag flies in this session, and then the drivers can make their way over. But Liam Milner decided to go early, so he's gotten a penalty for that one, likely. He's happy, though, as Sperry, and away they go for the side-by-side start on Milner. Turning in there on Sentkovsky. Unfortunately comes off second best as they go up the hill and over the bridge. Oh, Milner up the inside, tips Sentkovsky around. Oh, take it easy, boys. Take it easy. Oh, there we go. You can press the button now, Jay. That's both drivers who have flipped.
They're both
They're not going to make it to the finish. Oh, the countdown.
they're getting counted down. It's like wrestling and it's a count off.
Time is up. And Liam Milner is further ahead of Neil Sentkovsky, so he has been given the win.
Wow.
They didn't even... But he can't start the next race, so that means then that I think it might be an all-new grid for this one. Eric Antilli's going to get a free win out of that one, I reckon.
Yes, indeed. So, of course, he has the WinRAR trophy on the top of his truck, and maybe he's on the course for another WinRAR trophy as well. Of course, with one win under his belt in this little format, it will start one car length behind in his next race. We're still trying to see who it is going to be up against, but nonetheless, Eric Antilli, as we get a very,
wow. Oh my God.
very, very close up.
How much wireframe do you want? Bloody hell.
I'm not actually sure what we're looking at anymore. We're that zoomed in.
Dear, oh dear. It looks like Daniel Stevens is going to be facing off against Eric Antilli in this particular race. Daniel Stevens, Team Sausage Roll.
Let's go. Let's go, Sausage Roll.
All right. Well then, TV Test Pattern versus Australian Pastry. Who would win? And wouldn't it be funny if James Shastanoff was up next and Stevens wins, then we'd have a proper cheese versus sausage roll battle. I'm certainly hoping that that is the case, but either way, these drivers going to line up side by side then. Eric Antilli, of course, starting a truck length back. So let's wait for Sperry to be happy with how things go. Got to make sure that Daniel Stevens' front wheels are alongside the curb. A little bit forward also for Eric Antilli. All right, we're happy. We're going to get a start, and they are away. Daniel Stevens gets an even start with Eric Antilli, but almost gets bumped out of the way. It's going to be a side-by-side run up the hill. Stevens almost pushing Antilli off the track, but gives him the room. Oh, big contact there, and Stevens goes sailing off the track, and he's going to have to make a three-point turn there to get back onto the circuit. Eric Antilli, I think, going to run away with the victory in this one.
Oh, the poor sausage rolls. They had so much potential, but wasn't fulfilled. Oh,
Team
I'm
Sausage
devastated.
Roll is big sad.
I'm actually devastated.
Yeah. I'm devastated for you, Bo. Unfortunately, Daniel Stevens will not get the pastry machine to the line in first place. It's going to be the TV Test Pattern of Eric Antilli that makes his way through. But I think Stevens is going to be a little bit salty about that particular incident coming into the turn after the bridge.
Yes, indeed. It was a lot of contact the entire way up the hill there. But nonetheless, the race is done there, and we have our victor. And our next challenger to the throne will be Emily 11th Hour Jones. 11th hour, because apparently she decided to sign up extremely late for this event. So limited practice, but again, what is practice when it comes to Maxx Bantz? We'll see what she can do.
Oh, I think Antilli just went back to the pits. Does that prohibit him from starting this race? He was supposed to stay out on track. Oh, the truck died on him for some reason, apparently, so he had to get back to pit lane. Maybe he stalled it. So, 20 seconds Eric has to get out of that pit lane and line up next to Emily Jones here on the grid. But it looks like the tow is happening for Eric Antilli. He's not going to make it back out. That's a free win for Emily Jones. And she's saying in the text chat that she is using tilt controls to drive. Can we prove this in any way with her truck's behavior? She's driving very smoothly so far on this outlap.
I'm rapidly typing in her Twitch channel.
Of course, Emily streams on Twitch under the name Emree, E-M-R-E-E. So if you want to give her a follow, you certainly can. She races for McLaren Shadow in terms of sim racing.
She sits on a throne of lies.
Does she?
She sits on a throne of lies.
Oh, not good enough, Emily. Need to get those tilt controls out, at least for the next server if you win this.
So just waiting to see what is going to happen if we can get Eric and Tilly out on track. Doesn't look like he is making any progress at the moment. So Emily Jones left all by themselves. Our next driver gets put on a countdown to get out on track, which I believe was Jamison even longer name.
Yeah.
Plenty of silence at the moment. There we go.
So a tiny bit of confusion there for the drivers, given that Eric and Tilly's car died on him. I would really like to take a look at his helmet here, Jamison, because isn't that amazing?
Oh my!
That is beautiful.
Is that Nicolas Cage?
It's Nicolas Cage. Oh. That is art. I'm sorry. Frame that and put it in a gallery. I'll bloody auction it myself. Starting price, 500,000.
Reese, I've got a question for you. In the roll cage of this truck, do you think there's any nickel?
I doubt it. I doubt it. But there's
So you would then say that it is a Nicolas Cage?
Fuck. I'm done.
As our trucks do get ready, 3, 2, 1, and it is going to be lights out, and away we go. Contact almost immediately as Emily Jones tries to find a way past Jamison. Even longer name. Can't quite do it though as they make her up the hill race.
Indeed, and Jamison's completely overshot there, comes to a complete stop. Emily Jones moves into the lead, but oh no, it's the takeout, the timer, the rollover counter can be put up once again, and it's Jamison. Oh no, it's Emily who is ahead as Jamison just, what the hell is he doing? Okay, yeah, just add like 3 or 4 to the rollover counter.
He just ramped up the bridge.
Oh, I am loving this. This is a wonderful night. Emily Jones is going to come away for quite an easy victory here. Oh, man. Poor Jamie Thiesbrumel. Going to have to escape from that one, and we'll get a Virtual Racing School replay of that one. Virtual Racing School, of course, our replay partner at SimSpeed TV. There is... he actually did Jones a favor there, flipped it over the tyre barrier. And Jamison tried to get going again, but the chassis twisting just got away from him.
This is the incredible part right here. Massive wheelie. Oh, the camera. But he ramps up the bridge. That is remarkable at best.
That is so good. Absolutely love it. And a live rewind on the broadcast as well. That's, like... How many flips was that? Like 3? In one go for him? Jay's going to add an extra to the roll counter. But Alex Constantine is going to be the next driver out on track facing off against Emily Jones. I think this is going to be quite the matchup. T-Burn21 asks, can we give the brown star for that flip? I think so. I think so. A brown star for Jamison there. Okay, start time. Away we go. Alex Constantine's going to lead the way, but Jones gets a much better start. What on earth happened to Alex Constantine there? Probably started in a higher gear because Jones is absolutely getting away from him.
Yeah, that was a very... Not so...
Come on.
That was one of the worst overtakes I have seen, and Emily Jones goes up and over and on the lid.
There we go. I don't know if the win's going to be in question there for Alex Constantine. Yes, disqualified as Alex Constantine for over-aggressiveness.
Yes, I think we all saw that one coming. That was... not the brightest move I've seen of the night. Of course, it is Maxx Bantz, but still, we want a fair competition. And that just wasn't it this time around. So Emily Jones will have to go back to the pits with a very damaged truck. We'll see what this does for the rest of the event.
Yeah, well, I heard something in the chat about Jones being given a free reset thanks to that over-aggressiveness from Alex Constantine. She's still got 50 seconds left on the toe. So, with Tommy Teasdale here, making his way around the track. Doesn't get too impatient. We should be able to get a race going here. Oh, take it easy, Tommy.
Yes, of course, the side of his truck saying, I'm a big kart. I'm not sure about that being a go-kart, but if that's what he believes, then we will go with it. So, of course, a bit of an unfair competition then. We've got a pro truck and one go-kart. But, of course, it is a go-kart track race, so maybe an advantage here for Tommy.
Perhaps. It's a slightly different vehicle to a go-kart, though. But I mean, it's got 4 wheels, steering wheel, and an engine. So there you go. And it is running on a go-kart track. So I don't even know where we're going with that. Why are people reminding me that it's a go-kart track? I know that.
That reminds me of a fun fact. Did you know this is actually a go-kart track race?
Really? I had no idea. Wow,
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I thought that was something you wouldn't have known.
You don't mean to tell me that there is a track on which you can race go-karts?
Yes.
What a world we live in.
It's insane.
Incredible.
Modern technology.
My entire worldview has been uprooted. I'm going to change my ways.
On the microphone, we have a special guest in not a go-kart track.
All right. Here we go then. Positions satisfactory for Jake Sperry, and we're going to get another start here. Oh, it looks like Teasdale almost jumped the start there, but he's going to stay ahead of Emily Jones. Coming out of the first turn, across the bridge into the heavy braking zone for the hairpins. Jones trying to sneak up the inside here, and she's going to get it done cleanly, or as cleanly as she can, but just avoids flipping it over. Teasdale just avoids getting into the back. I think that's the cleanest start we've seen to one of these races in a while.
Yep, and a fairly clean overtake as well. A little bit of door banging, but nothing out of the extreme there. So a very good pass from Emily there, and she's beginning to just pull away. So this is looking very good into the final few corners. Tommy Teasdale, of course, a former winner of Maxx Bantz, has no response, and Emily Jones going to take a convincing win yet again.
Legit on track for Emily Jones this time round. So then, next driver out on circuit is going to be James Chastaneuf. Team Cheese! Let's see if the processed milk product can beat Emily Jones.
It's going to be an interesting one. Of course, cheese, very known for being lightweight, available in all available retail stores. So,
also carries a lot of energy. Gives you your calcium. James Chastaneuf with lovely strong bones to keep himself safe from these violent flips that we're seeing many trucks doing tonight. All right then. 3 truck lengths back for Emily Jones. And away we go. Jones was a bit quicker on the uptake on that start than Chastaneuf was. But the gap is quite large. Emily's going to have to try and make up some time into this braking zone, but it doesn't look like she's managed to get it right up where she needs to. Cuts the corner and... oh no, Chastaneuf! Oh, there we go. That's flip number 30. Emily Jones recovers from her flip, and she has been gifted the win. Team Cheese and Team Sausage Roll. Why did we even fight in the first place? We both lost.
oh boy. Emily Jones is going to take... oh my lord. Emily Jones across the finish line there. She will take another victory. And Team Cheese is left sitting upside down on the road, wondering where it all went wrong. As a new commentator is Go Team Kyle Drunk, and that is something I can definitely get behind. As our next competitor drives onto the circuit, as Emily Jones is doing all the wrong things right now. Roll counter at 30, but Steve John McClellan on track.
And my lord, bah! It's SpongeBob. That's all I've got to contribute on that front.
That is incredible. Look at
Indeed.
the eyes. Look at the. How can you not look into those eyes on the hood of that truck and just fall in love?
Yeah, it's wonderful. I really hope that this one comes away with that underdog win. It's going to be 4 truck lengths back here for Emily Jones. She's going to be starting on the apex of the last corner. So, Mr. McLennan here going to have to avoid it around the outside, making his way up to the starting grid. See if Sperry is happy with this one. McLennan pointing his car towards the inside of the first turn to try to cover off Jones. The 3-2-1 go is said, and away we go. Now, this is going to be tough here for Jones. She'll be relying on McLennan to make a mistake on his own.
Yes, indeed. That is a lot of time to be finding in such a short amount of time, such as this race. So Steve just has to hit the marks, but he's not doing it. He's upside down. Emily Jones takes the lead.
Oh, Christ.
Well, he's back on his wheels. Is there still hope?
There might still be hope for SpongeBob here. He's going to have to make up a lot of time in the final sector. Oh, he nailed the turn in, but unfortunately carrying a bit too much momentum there. Jones is just making her way through, trying her best to stop the truck from flipping. It looks to me like McLennan's not going to make up that gap in time. It's another win for Emily Jones. She has felled the fry cook at the Krusty Krab. Mr. Krabs feels sad, I think.
Yes, indeed. That is very unfortunate. So next up is Ave Maria Dolazel, and in a very interesting livery with plenty of slowdown penalties all over it. Where's Emily? Where's Emily starting now? Is she at the second last corner?
Yeah, I think so. Like just in between the penultimate and final corners here. I mean, if she can win from that far back legitimately, I will be seriously impressed. There we go. That is the spot there that Jones will be lining up, and Dolezal's going to have to make their way around there to get onto the starting grid. I'm starting to really lose my grasp of the English language here.
That's all right. I think we'll all be losing our grasp of the English language. That's ironic. If Emily Jones manages to take another win as we go green flag right about now, and they are underway. And is there anything Emily Jones can do to close this gap down? There is such a big margin between the two as Ave Maria Dolazel runs their way downhill, cuts the course just a little bit on entrance there. Just hit your marks, don't roll the truck. Makes their way through the hairpin nice and smoothly. The gap is closing, but nowhere near enough. Just has to hit the apexes from here, Reese.
Yep. All she's got to do here is keep it on the black stuff. Make sure not to go for a slide or a spin. Jones still trying her best to make up the gap, but it's just not going to be enough there. So Maria Dolezal coming across the line. Excellent drive there. Emily Jones has finally been felled.
There we go.
That's the end of the third heat. So going through is Emily Jones, Maria Dolezal, and Eric Intilli in third. The wild card remains Aaron Gilbert, and that's going to make up the grid for the final with the top 3 from our previous servers. Oh, man. A little bit of a moment to catch our breath here.
Yep, definitely need it as we go to a cuts part. Is that what it is? Man, it's been so long. I don't remember what it is. CPR replay, we'll go with that. As we look over the beautiful Oran Park circuit. But yeah, the amount of races Emily Jones was able to win was pretty incredible there. So that should put her in the number 1 seed pretty comfortably for these upcoming races. So can she carry that all the way to the finals? I guess we'll see pretty soon, Reese.
Yes, indeed. A Hamlin fan in my chat says Jones is the queen of not choking so far. And I would say, well put. 100% agree. But while the final server comes up, I reckon it's a good time to take a very quick break for us to just refresh ourselves for the final bow. So we're going to say stay with us, and we'll be back very, very shortly for the final of Maxx Bantz 13. Oh, come on, Keenan. You're going to race Maxx Bantz again, and I know it.
Fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's got everything outside of both of them! Maloney!
Oh, he's taking Anderson! Anderson's up top!
Oh my god!
Big crash! Oh my goodness, half the field's gonna get rolled!
Six very close. These guys are want to make their way through the field very quickly. Oh, there we go. Oh no! That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my god!
God, what?
Hello, everyone. We're back live here for Maxx Bantz 13. Winner stays on, and thanks to the grand total of one vote in the broadcast chat, we've got New Hampshire up on the B-roll. I think it's an underrated track, personally. I do enjoy driving around it in the skippies, and it's one of those rare combined oval and road courses where the road course actually goes outside the oval. What's your opinion on it, Bo?
I've got to say, if you want some good-looking screenshots of a car on a track, like there is no better circuit than there, because the elevation over the oval, and you get that in the backdrop, and you got also the forest and the grass. Oh, it's a really cool-looking circuit to drive around. I don't know how much I like it as a racetrack, but visually and how scenic you want some photos, I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Certainly. Oh, and incidentally, we have got the track map for New Hampshire, if you're curious about where it is. Big surprise, it's in the US state of New Hampshire. So in we go.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's when I found that out, it was just a revelatory information.
Oh my.
And we can't quite see it because of the rollover counter, but there is the track map, and incidentally, I create all of the track map assets for SimSpeed, so what you're seeing there is kind of like 20% my work, or something like that. Jay does the rest, pretties it up, makes sure that it works out very nicely in those transitions. And, well then, unfortunately, we're not going to be racing at New Hampshire. At least for the foreseeable future. My goodness, I've just loaded into the Maxx Bantz server for the final round of this particular event. The weather has completely changed. It is Fog City.
Yep.
Down in Oran Park. You cannot see the other side of the circuit.
This is bad. These
Jay,
drivers.
Go on.
Oh boy.
Okay, so here we go. Jay's saying that he needs to find the sunniest B-roll he possibly can for maximum contrast. Dan6 asks, did I already do a How to Ruin of New Hampshire or what? Oh, I like New Hampshire. I think I wouldn't want to ruin New Hampshire. I think it's a quite nice track. And either way, as I've said before, not really doing that series anymore. Just not feeling it like I did when I first did it. I kind of regret even starting it in the first place, because gave my channel some negative attention. But either way, not going to let that get to me. This is Maxx Bantz. This is what it's about here tonight. And pretty soon you'll be able to see just how much of a mist has descended over Oran Park. We're hearing an "oh my god" in the background from Jay. That means he's entered the server. Wait for this, guys. Oh, wow.
I also want to point out that in the sim itself, it's calling this light fog. I'm going to have to disagree on that one to the sim as we get our first look now, and that is quite foggy.
Press X to doubt. This is very heavy fog that we're seeing out on track at the moment. Of course, all drivers in the server now. So, what are they competing for is the big question. It is the WinRAR Trophy, the most prestigious JPEG in sim racing. When we first ran the first ever Maxx Bantz Open, driving the Ford Mustangs at Zandvoort, I literally drew up the trophy in paint as we were interviewing the winner of the event, and it has become the symbol of this event. It's become a very prestigious... Oh, rollover counter, Jay. I think that was... I think that was 33 now that we're up to. But there it is. The WinRAR Trophy. Isn't it beautiful?
It is absolutely beautiful, and I've been fortunate enough to win this trophy myself, and I've got to say, like, the amount of people in public I walk up to and show this trophy, like, they all say, "What on earth is that?" But really, I think that just shows the appeal of this trophy and just how phenomenal it is, Reese.
Yes, indeed. It's quite the well-made trophy, I reckon. All of those imperfections, they just give the trophy personality. That's what you want.
And it's a good thing that it's saved in a JPEG file. I mean, PNGs are overrated these days. JPEG, it's that perfect amount of compression on your photo that really gives it that pixelated look you all desire.
Yeah, absolutely. And God forbid it's a BMP. BMPs can go away for good. Thank you very much. With your bigger file sizes and your Windows 98 something. I don't know. So either way, just waiting for final couple of drivers to come into the server. We have 10 left. Gone from the total number of wins that these drivers have taken. And already we're seeing the biffo. Matthew Walker has just done a front flip, Jay. 34 on the rollover counter. I haven't seen that yet tonight.
Drivers definitely experimenting with their freestyle a little bit. Of course, we have had one backflip off a bridge, which I think is going to be pretty hard to beat, but these drivers are still going to try. And that roll counter is just going to get ever larger in the next 3 minutes as the drivers get their final practice and just try and learn the track a little bit as well. It's currently just 6:30 in the afternoon here at Oran Park, so it's a lot later than the earlier sessions as well. So a much hotter track as well. There'll be less grip, so the drivers will be sliding around even more than they were before, which I think is just great for us. Shocking for them as drivers, but I think this could mean that racing could get a little bit more interesting with the drivers even more wildly out of control.
Yes, indeed. I'm fairly sure that there's going to be a couple grip rolls as well. As was that another rollover I saw in the background, all the way up at the other end of the circuit. These drivers just recovering there. Eric Intilli and who is that? Not quite sure, but we will find out soon enough. It was Dolazal who was involved in that as well. Oh, Tyson Broad's just done a flip at the hairpin. We can add another onto that. And incidentally, I also caught Matthew Walker flipping just off screen a couple of moments ago, so I think we're up to 36 by now. There we are. This has been a very good tester, I think, for just how many rollovers you can fit into a single sim racing event. I think that the setup is absolutely perfect for this purpose. What food do we support now? Very good question.
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah. Well, no, what? Okay, I'm going to introduce a bit more conflict into this, all right?
Oh,
Team
no.
Chicken Tendies.
Oh.
Chicken nuggets or chicken tendies? Cast your votes.
Oof. I'm waiting for chat to just light up here as the 21 car lights up on the tyre wall. I'll go up and over as well, and then promptly drives through our camera, drives through our tyre barrier. We'll then get back out on track. Oh no, I've got to say right now the tendies are doing pretty well.
Indeed they are. We've already got 3 votes for tendies. Not seeing any nuggets.
Oh, nugget crew's coming through now.
Someone's asking what's tendies. They're little chicken tenderloins, little strips. They're crumbed and they're yum. They're nice. Seeing more nugs come in. Why must we argue? Why must we fight? Why can we not all consume chicken? You know what? I think Keenan Kusin makes a very good point. You know, at the end of the day, we're all there for the same reason, which is the consumption of chicken.
Chimkin.
Who cares what your Chimkin delivery system is? It is all the same. And Dean Mole, understandably disappointed that there's no cheese or sausage rolls in this event. Don't worry, Dean, I am disappointed as well. But we must be strong. We must move on.
With chicken nuggets.
Yes. I will stand atop the mountain of pain, tendies in hand, and I proclaim, I will remember you, cheese, and I'll remember you, sausage roll. A vote for medium rare chicken being the best. Oh my god. So then, first couple of drivers are out, coming out on the circuit. It's Tyson Broad and James Tracy. This is quite the matchup, I reckon, between the two of them.
See how this battle gets on between the two, of course, waiting for the clock to tick down, and then we will get them lined up on the grid for this next race. But This is where the pressure starts to mount, Reese. This is where these drivers, that WinRAR trophy is getting ever closer. They've survived the first stage, but now this next stage is where it really matters.
Yeah, and there's no in between here. You either win or you don't. So as long as you're the one in front in the final race, you're going to be the one doing the WinRAR trophy. So the green flag flies, and now the drivers will line up side by side just at this here curb. Both of them need to move back just a little bit before Jake Sperry is happy. And the countdown is going to begin. A little bit further back there for James Tracy. Here we go then. The Maxx Bantz 13 final begins in 3, 2, 1 now. An even start between the two of them, but Tyson Broad immediately gone straight up the circuit. 39! Oh, God, it's all gone wrong right at the start. So James Tracy is going to come away, I think, with the win in this first race of the final. Oh, keep it on 4 wheels, though, James. Careful.
Yep, just has to make it all the way to the finish line here, and he will be solid and take away this transfer spot into the next part of the races. So Jamesy Tracy in the final few corners brings it into the left, hop, skip, and a jump from the suspension there. 2 corners to go, turns it in, and the checkered flag will be waiting, and he will take out the first race of this elimination process.
Yes, win confirmed there for James Tracy. Tyson Broad is going to have to make his way back into the pits. Maria Dolezal is going to be the next driver out on the circuit. So James Tracy's going to pull his way around here.
Oof, the real question, pineapple on a pizza.
No.
I've got to say no.
No.
First time all night we've agreed.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, it's not a question of snobbery. Truthfully, my favorite kind of pizza is a traditional Napolitana pizza with just mozzarella, tomato sauce, and a bit of basil. But you can put whatever you like on your pizza. I just think pineapple is too sweet. That's just my opinion.
There you go. There is the opinion. I've got to say I do agree as well. And our director is on team I can't even eat pizza. Feels bad.
Poor Jay. He is celiac and unfortunately has to consume entirely gluten-free food. He can't eat chicken nuggets either. So F or sausage rolls even. So F's in the chat for Jay, please. And Keenan asks, tenders on pizza confirm. I will confirm that. Yeah, tenders on pizza. That's pretty good. And as the race gets off to a start...
Oh, great launch.
Yeah, excellent launch from James Tracy and bumps Maria Dolezal out of the way and has the gap over her coming up the hill. I think he's gotten this one covered.
Oh, especially with Maria Dolezal going that sideways into the little section. You can see she wants to cut across the track, finally does, as they then work their way through. Look at the body language of Jamesy Tracy. Try to say that name 10 times fast. Works his way into the right-handed, and, Maria Dolezal is closing up ever so slightly, not giving it up just yet. Once the transfer spot goes a bit too fast into the right, too quick for the left, and Jamesy Tracy, that's going to make it 2 from 2.
Indeed he is. That's a very good run there for James Tracy, but the most amount of wins isn't going to mean anything if you're not the one crossing the line in front in the final race. In the broadcast chat, Togwa Potobo, I hope that I'm pronouncing that name right. I thought we were going to see a 10-car final. I should listen more carefully. No, you're right. This is a 10-car final. It's just they're competing 2 at a time. There are 10 drivers in this server. And it looks like only 9 have turned up, incidentally, to this final. So we've already got 1 driver who's completely forfeited their chance at a WinRAR trophy. Let's see what Reese Harnell can do in the Dolly Parton Stampede machine.
Yes, indeed. Working 9 to 5 all the way through to the final 10. Of course, not used to, working till 10. So this is going to be a little bit different for Reese Harnell. Of course, he explains in the YouTube chat as well that the whole Rainbow Six Siege deal in his name is because he actually used to compete at a very high level in Rainbow Six Siege. So a bit of a multi-game expert here is Reese Harnell, but is he able to shoot his way all the way through to a transfer spot?
He'll have to make his aim very nicely. Hearing a question from our director, why is Harnell's number not 925? Ah, that's a missed opportunity there.
That is
really
a big
is.
missed opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, 3, 2, 1, go, and the race is going to start, and it looks like James Tracy got the better jump there and bumps Harnell off the road, out of the way. Harnell, fortunately, keeping it on 2 wheels, but Tracy opens up the inside. Harnell almost sneaks up the inside. Yes, Tracy has been sent wide. He's going to try and defend here. Inside line for the hairpin, and he flips Harnell over. That's going to be 40 on the rollover counter, and James Tracy is going to come away to another easy win here.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what Jake Sperry thinks about that one. There was a lot of contact between the two, and there was plenty of door banging the entire way. Of course, James Tracy's been so good off the starts, able to get almost another advantage into turn 1 again. Crosses the line first. Ooh.
Oh no. James Tracy has been disqualified for over-aggressiveness. So that means that Reese Harnell is going to come away with the win in this one, and he's going to face off against Emily Jones. There is the contact, and, well, I mean, I don't know if I entirely agree with that race control call, because it's a very narrow corner. They were going to go in there side by side. Maybe James Tracy could have kept it a little bit tighter, but yeah, it does seem a bit harsh.
It is a bit harsh, and, you know, there was a bit of a tit for tat there as well. Of course, there was contact at turn 1, but then also the favor was returned into turn 2 as well, or I suppose turn 3. So, you know, it was tit for tat, but at the end of the day, of course, race director's call goes, and it will be Reese Harnell who goes on to the next round, and they will be facing off against probably the scariest competitor of it all, if the previous heats were anything to go by. Emily Jones up next.
Yes, indeed. Emily Jones, the one to win by default the most, I think, out of many drivers here. And she's going to line up just at the end of the curb, with Mr. Harnell being asked to move slightly forward to make the gap nice there. So, can Emily Jones get a good start here? Looks like she can, and cuts across the front inside line, and Harnell is covered. Jake Sperry, aka Stevie Wonder, Keenan Kusin says in the chat. My goodness, I mean, the salt is real here, as Emily Jones stays ahead then of Reese Harnell coming into the final sector. Jay, we're still looking at James Tracy here. The race is almost over, and Emily Jones is going to come away in front here. Started in front, winning in front, and she will stay on.
We're having a bit of a relaxed broadcast tonight, and our director has really taken that to the next level by just stopped working.
Oh my god! Now has some sympathy for Jay. He's not well tonight. He is having a couple of health issues, so some mistakes may be made. Please forgive us if such mistakes arise. But the next car out on the circuit, Eric 1X in Tilly, in the TV test pattern machine. Now, I think in terms of outright pace, Emily Jones has Eric Antilli covered, but remember, she is going to be starting a truck length back, so if Antilli can get a good launch off this start and square off the inside of turn 1 quick enough, he'll be able to come away with victory here. He'll have to protect the inside for the turns going downhill as well. Yes, indeed. As we get the countdown, as it's going to go 3, 2, 1, and then finally go. It is lights and away we go. And look at the start from Emily Jones up the inside. Position made. Off she goes. Goodbye, Eric and Tilly. Well, this is goodbye. A good side-by-side as well. Yes, certainly. But until he's pushing hard then into the turns coming down the hill, he'll be hoping that he can get a leg up on Jones if she makes a mistake here. But Jones very stable through the hairpin, almost keeping all 4 tyres on the ground as well. Into the final sector then, Eric Antilli's going to have to get on the throttle nice and hard to get a run on Jones here, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. This twisty final sector is very difficult to navigate in these trucks. So, 2 turns to go, then 1 turn to go, and Emily Jones is going to come across the line to take victory. Tilly cutting the final corner, but not enough. Crossing the line in second. Now, here we go, Bo. The return of our early dominator. Benjamin Houdini Roberts is next car out on track. We haven't seen Roberts and Jones matched up yet.
No, we have not, of course. Benjamin Houdini Roberts, I believe it was winning 3 races or something in the very first stages that we had. Almost rolls it on his outlap there. Emily Jones, of course, winning something like 5 races in a row. So these two, probably one of the more dominant combinations that we could possibly have run up against one another. Like, it would not be surprising in any way, shape, or form to see these two in a final. But of course, this is still the elimination process, so there's still plenty of drivers to go after this. So one very big name in this event is going to be knocked out early.
Indeed. And James Tracy expressing that he's proud of his performance, and I'd have to say I'm proud of your performance too, mate. I thought you did very well, and to last as long as you did in an event with such random chance as Maxx Bantz is certainly something to be proud of at the end of things. Happy with both drivers' positions then. Emily Jones versus Benjamin Roberts. Away we go, and Roberts got off to a nice even start there versus Jones, and already starting to gap her. Emily's going to have to push very hard over the course of this next half a lap.
Yes, indeed. A lot of ground to make up into the downhill section where she has been so good in the last few battles. You can see Ben's actually struggling. Contact is made. Pass is also trying to be happening here side by side into the next corner. Around the outside on the brake. She will try, but the inside line holds strong. Ben holds on for now, Reese.
Yep, only just though. Is there going to be a bump coming into the slow corner? No, Jones backs out of it. A little bit too up on 2 wheels there for Emily Jones. She gave it a red-hot go, but ultimately it's going to be Benjamin Roberts coming home with the win there. Wow. I think that was possibly the most exciting clean race that we've actually had tonight.
Yeah, there was some good little battles there, you know, of course, into the downhill section where you shouldn't really see many passes. But Ben Roberts just overshot the tiniest little bit, opened the door, and Emily, of course, a very aggressive competitor when she needs to be, saw the opening, went for it, tried around the outside. I really did think for a moment the outside line was going to work for her.
Yeah, I thought so too. But the thing is with these trucks, if you go a bit too hard into the turns, that was almost number 41 there for Matthew Walker. He's the next truck out, by the way. When you come towards the middle of a corner on the outside in these trucks, it's very easy to completely lose your momentum, and you have to make a couple of corrections in the middle of the corner to combat that. So ultimately not working out there for Emily. She is not going to be the winner of this Maxx Bantz, but Matthew Walker then making his way towards the grid. Benjamin Roberts will be starting a truck length back, and Walker making sure that his throttle response is adequate. Happy with both positions, and away we're going to go. Jake Sperry counts them down, and we are away. That's an even start, but up the inside there goes Benjamin Roberts, forces Matthew Walker wide and almost off the circuit. But he's closer than many drivers have been coming into this downhill section. He stays out of the rear of Benjamin Roberts. The door opens on the inside. Roberts has been knocked into the tyres. He's going to go over the tyres and flip. And Matthew Walker is going to warp through him and take the lead. Oh my God.
It's still going on into the final section of the track. This could be a close one between the two. Up the inside, contact is made. Matthew Walker holds on to it, but is getting pushed around the circuit. Ben Roberts not giving up. 2 corners to go. 1 is done. The second is over, and it is going to be victory there for the driver of Matthew Walker. What a race!
That was great. Absolutely loved that race, and what a great fight back there from Walker. The contact was made though in the fight in the downhill sector, and hearing some word from race control here for the final race of the night. Brenton Hobson versus Matthew Walker. This is going to be the decider for victory. The clip through, I reckon, well, there's no damage. I think it's more netcode than anything. I think it would be the contact down at the hairpin that would be a bit more in question. Either way, the result stands, and this is going to be how it's decided then between Matthew Walker and Brenton Hobson. Can Hobbo come away with this?
It's going to be a tricky one, but it is going to be a very close one because, of course, Brenton Hobson not slow at all in these trucks. Getting final instructions from race control before they get the countdown.
Best of luck to all. Matthew Walker versus Brenton Hobson for the WinRAR trophy, and it's a jump start from Brenton Hobson. He's got to go back and start it again. And there we go. The command is given, and they are away. Matthew Walker on the inside then into the first turn and covers off Brenton Hobson on the exit, but Hobbo's going to have the inside line then for the turn coming into the downhill section. No, Walker covers him off, but a bit of a bump sends Walker nice and wide. Hobbo sneaks up the inside into the hairpin. Walker goes over the tyres and almost avoids flipping it there, but Hobson with the traction on the tarmac. Gonna take the lead? No, he's not. Walker taps him wide there. This is all on between the two of these guys for the final race of Maxx Bantz 13. Just a couple more turns to go. Hobbo's only got a couple of turns left to stake his claim. Walker goes wide and they're almost turned around, but across the line. No. Oh, Matthew Walker has been disqualified for corner cutting.
No, I disagree massively.
Oh, man. I think there's going to be a lot of controversy over that. But Race Control has named Brenton Hobson the winner of Maxx Bantz 13. After that one, I mean, I feel like you could have afforded to rerun that final, personally, because it was very messy from both drivers in the middle sector of the circuit. But that's the decision. It looks like it's going to stand, so Brenton Hobson is now declared your Maxx Bantz 13 winner. Well, I'm not too sure how to feel about that one, Bo.
No, I'm a little bit disappointed with that, but race director's call is what goes. Of course, I'm just going to stay an opinion piece. I do feel like Matthew Walker was pushed into the tyre barrier, and that's why he had no choice but to cut the course. And they ended up side by side anyway, so I feel like it was kind of play on from that point of view. But regardless, it is Brenton Hobson who, at the end of the day, will take the WinRAR trophy.
Indeed, he will. And we have race director Jake Sperry in the commentary box with us. Welcome, Jake. I'm seeing some booing in the chat for that particular decision. Can you explain it from your perspective?
I certainly can. And the reason why the decision has been taken here in terms of that move was the nature of corner first and foremost. It was a wide line taken in. Yes, there was contact between the two drivers, but the key was the fact that Matthew Walker accelerated up over the wall and into a position to attack in order to gain an unfair advantage when there was opportunity to sit in behind and attack later on in the lap, maybe into that turn 7 corner, which is the long right-hander, and there would be opportunities later on. I felt that wasn't fair in the spirit of a clean and fair race. There was some hard racing between those two drivers, but in my view, that's why Brenton Hobson gets it on the disqualification of a corner cut.
Righto, so the defining moment then was when Matthew Walker leapt over the inside of the tyre barriers at that hairpin.
Yes, and I was lenient on it the race before because Matthew Walker did exactly the same thing, but in that situation I felt that I could leave a little bit of leniency there due to the fact that I wasn't quite sure what the plan was. To see it a second time in a row, I was seeing that more of a deliberate attempt to move forward. Therefore, that's why I have gone for that position and taken my stance.
All right, then. Well, To end off the broadcast then, we'll talk to the two drivers involved in this one. Joining us, Matthew Walker and Brenton Hobson. We'll talk to Matthew first. Matthew, what was your perspective on that? The sailing over the tyre bundle on the inside of the hairpin?
I ran wide into the right-handers leading up to that, and I was on the wrong side of Brenton. He gave me bump, and that pointed me at the fence. So I was like, okay, I'll just go. I made it over. I thought by the time I'd gathered it up on the other side, we sort of came out where we were going in. So I thought that would go. I don't actually know. I haven't talked to our overlord yet whether that corner cutting is the one I got done for or any of the others.
We have just spoken to Jake Sperry, and it was that particular cut at the hairpin that sealed it there for you, Matthew. But either way, I mean, to last as long in this event as you had, and to be competitive there in the final race of the night, I guess you've got some positives to take away from this event then.
Of luck, lots and lots of luck. In both situations, it was where I was in the draw. All I had to do was win one. And full credit to the format.
Full credit to the format there from Matthew Walker. Let's have a quick chat though to Brenton Hobson. You were in 6th place on the timing sheets at one point in this session, but ultimately, thanks to that race control decision, it is P1 for you in the Maxx Bantz Open, and you can add your name to the list of sons and daughters of banter.
Oh, obviously, I'm just completely overwhelmed with emotions after winning what is, I think, inarguably the most prestigious award there is in sim racing. So, in true Maxx Bantz fashion, I have no idea what just happened, and I won. So we'll take it. That was brilliant.
Yeah, you're mostly familiar with the Pro 2 truck racing in the Pro Truck Showdown series, and I believe you are the champion of the most recent season. So you had a bit of experience racing trucks on road courses, but the Pro 4 is a very different beast to the Pro 2, especially around a track as twisty as this.
Oh, without a doubt, I love the Pro 2. It's probably one of my favorite vehicles in sim racing altogether. It's a lot of fun, but I haven't really ever driven the Pro 4s, especially not on a road course. I think you put the setup together. Full credit to you because the thing was immaculate. It was so hard to drive; it was almost impossible. So that it was really just a case of try and complete a lap without crashing more than anything. So that was really good. But yeah, I haven't really driven the Pro 4s hardly at all. So it was something a bit different, and certainly probably the most challenging combination I think I've ever driven.
Indeed. Well, the WinRAR trophy is yours. I've just messaged it to you on Discord, and as you hoist that printed piece of paper high to stick it on the front of your fridge, is there anyone that you'd like to thank from your position on the top step of the podium?
Well, firstly, the WinRAR trophy will definitely get stuck right here next to me, so it'll be very prominent in all my streams because it's highly important to me that everyone can see that. So that's the first thing that will happen. But as far as thanks go, obviously, thanks to everyone, all you guys behind making it happen, and to Sperry for pestering me about coming to have a run in it. So this is my first time in it, and yeah, without a doubt, I'll come back and try and defend next time.
Indeed. Well, Brenton Hobson there. From Synergy Sim Racing number 88, the winner of the Maxx Bantz 13 winner stays on. We want to thank you all for tuning in to watch both on the SimSpeed TV channel and on Southpaw Racer as well. It's been really good to have your company and interact with you guys in the text chat, and we certainly hope that you've enjoyed the racing that has gone on tonight. And the memes, they must stay alive. There's the upside down B-roll one more time. My name is Reese Gardner, aka Southpaw Racer. Bo Albert was alongside me in the commentary box, former Maxx Bantz champion himself, and Jay Kennedy making everything happen behind the scenes, directing the broadcast and controlling the cameras. It's bye for now, but certainly not forever. I have more videos coming out soon, I promise.
This is fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction. He's going in the outside of both of them. Maloney.
Oh, he's taken Anderson.
is it. This is over. I can't believe this. Oh my god.
God, what?